Welcome back everyone. In this video, we are going to be discussing the process of identifying stakeholders, which is the next step after developing the project charter. Identifying stakeholders is crucial because it helps you to understand who the project will impact and who has an interest in it. Why identify stakeholders? As a project manager, once you assign to a new project, one of your first tasks is to identify the stakeholders. These are the individuals or groups who will be affected by the project or have an interest in its outcome. Identifying stakeholders is not a one-time activity. It is continuous. Stakeholders can change over the time. People leave organizations, new people join, and the role changes. How to analyze stakeholders? It is essential to analyze and record relevant information about each stakeholder's interest and involvement. This helps in understanding their needs and how to engage them effectively. Stakeholders can be active, for example, team members who work on deliverables, or passive, for example, customers who receive the end product. Knowing their level of influence and interest helps in managing their expectations and ensuring they are appropriately engaged. Now let us discuss about the inputs to identify stakeholders. Many inputs used in this process have already been covered, such as project charter, business documents, project management plan. Tools for identifying stakeholders. Stakeholder analysis. This tool helps in understanding stakeholders' roles, their influence, and how they feel about the project. You need to analyze stakeholder roles, how the project affects them, either positively or negatively, their level of power and interest in the project, whether they are active or passive participants, and so on. And the second tool is stakeholder mapping and representation. This involves creating diagrams and understand their influence and interest. Common methods include power or interest grid. This plots stakeholders based on their level of power and interest in the project. Stakeholder cube. This is a three-dimensional analysis tool considering the power, interest, and influence. Salience model. Consider stakeholders' power, urgency, and legitimacy in the project. Direction influence. Categorizes stakeholders based on their influence direction, either upward, downward, outward, and sideways. Now let us discuss about how to prioritize the stakeholders. After analyzing the stakeholder, the next step is to prioritize them to understand who requires the most attention. High priority stakeholders are those who will significantly influence the project or have interest in the project. Stakeholder register. The main output of this process is the stakeholder register. This document typically includes contact information, roles in the project, preferred communication methods, expectations and needs, impact, and influence level. The stakeholder register is a living document that will be updated and used throughout the project. It is essential for various processes such as gathering requirements and developing communication plans. Remember, identifying stakeholder is an ongoing process. You need to continually update the stakeholder register as new stakeholders are identified and as existing ones change roles or leave the project. To conclude, by effectively identifying and managing stakeholders, you ensure that their needs are met and you increase the likelihood of project success. Stakeholders are a crucial aspect of any project, and their identification and management should be continuous effort throughout the project lifecycle.